Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American Masterminds podcast. I'm your host tonight, Topher Sheeler. I'm here with my co-host, the one and only Jared Bayless.
What's up?
We've got another Blue Collar Connect spotlight here for you. These were actually the first people that we happened to meet in Blue Collar Connect, and they are truly some of our favorites. Jared, why don't you tell us who we got on tonight?
Yeah, this is Darrin and Mitch with Denny's Auto, and Darrin was the very first person that I spoke to at a lunch for Blue Collar Connect, and just our relationship has just kind of grown from there. And I'm excited to see what these guys have to say about their business and just life, and get to know them a little bit better and become closer friends and have a better connection. So let's hear it.
Yeah, these guys are some of our very best friends in the whole Blue Collar Connect community. Not against anybody, but we love them. So you guys know the drill. Sit back, we'll grab a quick word from the sponsor, and we'll jump right in.
Welcome to the American Masterminds podcast.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the American Mastermind podcast. Rob Adams here, founder of Thanksgiving Heroes, extending a warm invitation to you to be a part of our golf tournament on August 21st at Thanksgiving Point. We're looking for golfers, whole sponsors, breakfast sponsor, the main sponsor, whatever you want to do, whatever level of involvement that you want at the golf tournament. Please come be a part of it. Click on the link below. Sign you and your friends up to come and play some golf. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.
So let's get into the background story a little bit, okay? So you guys, obviously, father-son. How did it come to be? Is Denny's been around for a very long time? Mm-hmm. Has it been a family thing? Did you buy into it? Kind of give us the background story of how we're here today.
So I'll give you the first part, and then Mitch can take the rest of the conversation, because he's the newer, younger, smarter, better business owner. So it's evolving in the right direction. So it actually started with Denny, obviously, who is my father-in-law. So he started it in 1963 in Kearns. Was his first shop. At one time, he had 3 service stations. So back then, it was service stations. You sold gas, you had full service islands, you had 1 or 2 bays, because you loved to work on cars, and that was the way it was back in the 60s. So we went from that to, I entered the scene. I met his daughter. We went to high school together. So I met Christy September of 86. We hit it off, obviously. Ended up marrying her. So, but I started working for Denny in January. He needed someone to help run the front counter, basically pump gas, fix tires, sell candy. We had a little C-store up front in Riverton. So let me backtrack a little bit. So he started out in Kearns in 63. In 83, he moved from Kearns to Riverton, where our mothership is now. So he started there in 83. And then I started working for him in January of 87, my senior year of high school. Then got married in 89 and became partners with Denny in 93-ish. So in between the 89 and 93, we got rid of gas because of EPA regulations. There's no profit in it anymore. As a matter of fact, you're losing money. So you're trying to sell more to make up for losing. That doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
No. So we got rid of the gas in the meantime. Then he and I became partners in 93. And then we ran it for a long, long time together and expanded and built on additional service bays. Started out with 2 bays. When I started working there was 2 bays. He added 4 more bays, and since then we've added 4 more.
Oh, wow.
So it's all patched together over the decades. And then Mitch came in the scene. You can take it from there.
Yeah. You guys been to the Riverton store, right?
Yeah.
So those first 2 original bays and everything else is Frankenstein together. It's a wild shop tour. I don't know if you guys have seen the back or not, but anyway, I started working at the shop professionally in 2010. Just emissions inspections, oil changes, quick lube guy. Before that, I was cleaning the shop on the weekends, make some extra money through high school and stuff like that. And I had zero desire to participate in this industry. I did not find it sexy or attractive in the slightest. So I tried to go to the University of Utah. That did not work out very well. I had too much freedom all at once and kind of ruined that opportunity. But I did it for a good thing because ended up falling in love with cars. I had a 66 Mustang and I tore apart the engine, saw how that worked. And I dropped out of the U that day, went to trade school the next day, and started my professional career as a technician. I became a master technician, and I was like, I'm looking for something. What's the next challenge? So I want to learn how to service right, and that kicked me in the teeth about 15 times. And I was like, that's hard. That's the hardest job in the shop, hands down. Then I became the service manager after that, around 2015, 2017, somewhere around there. And that's when I started having conversations with Denny if I could buy him out. And his answer was always no, always no. Every year I asked him and it was always no. Then his wife, Jean, passed away, and I waited a couple of years and I asked him again, and he finally was like, yeah, let's work something out. Like, great, let's get going on that. So we kind of had like a handshake deal in place, and then he got sick and filled up with cancer and passed away before I had the opportunity to actually buy him out and see him off into the sunset. It was, very unfortunate. I really wanted that opportunity to make sure I could do that for him, but anyway, I got his shares. So I became part owner at that time. That was, when did he pass away? 2020, 2021?
2020.
2020. So I've been owner for 6 years now, co-owner. And I'm the third generation, so I'm either the one that ruins the family company or
No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah. So like, it's crazy. Like, you look at the stats on it. Third generations, they're either the ones that blow it up or they blow it up.
Yeah.
Right? So,
There's no middle ground. It
No,
doesn't usually
there's not.
flatline at the third generation.
Yeah. So there's a fair amount of pressure, I feel like, but it's all good pressure. I think we have a great team and we make a pretty good partnership, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, moving onward and upward.
You're very good at it. You're better at it than I am, and I think ultimately I was a better owner than Denny was. So it's we're kicking the can down the road, but Mitch definitely knows what he's doing and runs the shop the way it needs to be ran. I kind of learned old school, which is good and bad. The more I'm learning, even now, the more I'm learning how it's more bad than good, just because things change. But having Mitch as a partner is a whole different experience than it was. Nothing against Denny. He gave me all the opportunity and his lovely daughter. So nothing against him at all. But as far as running a business with a partner, it's like night and day. We just gel really well together. So he's taken it way further than I could have on my own, and way further than Denny and I could have done together too. So it's a good thing.
And thank God for what we're learning through Blue Collar and the connections we're making through there. Because now we're learning, like, you have a superpower that's networking, and
really good at social media too. How about that?
Yeah, but who would have thought that?
For sure.
Yeah.
I was like, he's discovering that, and I'm discovering that I'm actually pretty good at operations. So now we're by like a consequence of joining this group, we're kind of finding our lanes, and we're able to stay into the lanes.
Yeah.
And we're finding more success that way than we ever had before. So it's great.
Well, it seems to me you guys probably have a pretty natural progression to this, right? And I don't mean anything by this, but you're kind of you want to do more of the networking and not turning wrenches. Whereas you're kind of coming into your power and being the guy that can be the boss, which is really cool. So from what I'm hearing, man, not many businesses get an opportunity quite like that. You guys have been learning the business since
And you're never done
86
learning.
and you're never done.
Yeah.
So you guys are just constantly piggybacking off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Not many people get that opportunity. So I would imagine there's not a ton of, you've got to evolve and, we're learning new stuff. We're going to take tech into this and there's stuff moving, but you guys, I imagine there's not many curveballs coming your way.
We've seen a lot, and we continue to see a lot, but being humble and being open-minded and communicating, because you know how men are, we're not the greatest communicators in the world. So that's always the challenge, but the more we communicate, the better we are at it. And it gets a life of its own. And then we've created a culture. That's another thing Mitch is really good at, creating a culture where everyone has the same vision and everyone is going to the same direction. And so we're not pulling anybody along. We're going there together. And that creates an environment where we're all learning as a team. We don't consider ourselves bosses and employees. We're all teammates.
Yeah.
And that's the way the culture is. And the culture feeds us as owners to want to take it further and want to be humble and want to be open-minded and want to be open to suggestion. If you would have asked either one of us 2 years ago if he was going to be operations and I was going to be networking, we both would have said, hell no.
Backwards, dude.
Yeah,
Backwards.
it would have been backwards. It's been like, no, I'll do operations because I'm way attention to detail and I don't want to deal with people too much. Well, it's funny how things change, you know?
Yeah.
What was the first thing that kind of kicked that off? Was it joining Blue Collar, or was there some progression to that?
I think there is a progression to it. I think we were in two different BNI chapters for a period of time, and I wasn't getting much traction with mine, and I was doing what I was supposed to do in BNI, but I never quite got the traction. And your BNI group, you like day one, you were starting to get referrals.
And what I'm in now, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and then joining Blue Collar was the next obvious step, and that's just blowing BNI out of the water. Like it's
not even a fair.
It's
I've
not fair.
I've actually been asked twice about this week. They're like, so is it a BNI group? And it like, no,
it's offensive. It's actually offensive.
Yeah, it really is. Please don't
I love my BNI people, but they're two different animals, completely different things.
What has been the big thing that you guys, we all kind of have the thing that we love most about it. What has been the big difference that Blue Collar has brought to you guys?
For me, it's the relationships, and every business organization or networking or collaboration, whatever you want to call it, they all say that. But there's something about the Blue Collar experience that's hard to put into words, but it is so genuine and so legit, and it's just real, and it's tangible once you're part of it. That's different. It stands out from any other organization I've been a part of. I've been a part of a lot of different things. I've been doing this for almost 38 years. Been a part of different 20 groups, coaching organizations, networking groups, think tanks, all kinds of different things. And they've all been great. They've all got me to this point, but nothing has come close to what Blue Collar offers. And it's the relationships are what matter the most, but the education, the masterminds we do, the meat and potatoes, the go do work, go do it kind of an attitude that's a real thing and not just fluff and not just talk.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely the best decision we've made for our business in my career for sure. And Mitch can answer however he wants to. That's kind of my spiel.
Wow.
You left him a lot of room there.
Yeah, go ahead and run with
so
that.
Much runway to there. I think my biggest takeaway from it is like everyone's problems are similar. Like coming from the automotive space, my back is up against the wall. I'm like, water purification guys can't relate to what I'm going through right now, or the handyman can't relate what I'm going through, or the welder can't, but everybody can. We're all blue collar guys, so we all have similar problems. It's just a little bit different. And so that, and then the people in the group, they have a way of explaining my problem to me back that is so simple. Like, okay, I'm making this devil that I'm facing isn't really that big. It's so much bigger in my imagination than what it is in reality. And so that reality check that I get from y'all is what's valuable to me. I love that.
It is kind of cool. Like it really doesn't matter what the industry is or the size of the company. Mm-hmm. The problems are relatively the same for everybody. You just go through different stages, and the difference between a big company and a small company is how many zeros are behind your problem.
Where you put the comma. Yeah.
Right. That's literally it. But they're dealing with the same thing. Everybody right now has a problem with hiring. Mm-hmm. Finding people is incredibly hard. And it doesn't matter if you're the guy that's the $20 million company or the guys that are just starting out. So we're all dealing with the same thing. I made a joke, right when I first came in. I'm like, here's why this is going to work. We're all trauma bonded. We just don't know it.
Trauma bonded. Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing because we're all in the same boat.
And once you kind of look around the room and you realize, oh, it is. That's exactly what it is. And then it's weird, man. Like it's only been 3 months and it feels like we've known there's you guys being part of that feel like we've known each other for years. Mm-hmm. And we see each other a couple times a week. Yeah.
It is cool the connections like you were speaking about. That's my big takeaway from the group as well, is like everybody is so genuine and the connections are genuine. Sorry. So that's my takeaway as well, is like, man, everybody's like-minded and we all basically we're bonded, trauma bonded, however you want to put it. But the connections are very genuine in the group. So I think it's the vetting process and the commitment that you have to put into the Blue Collar Connect kind of weeds out the weak, I would say. But the connections are super, genuine. It's been great.
It's quite an experience. It's like it's okay to say this on this, but there's no assholes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There just isn't. And I've never, maybe I'm the asshole. It's like if you don't have a weird uncle in your family, then maybe you're it. But maybe I'm the asshole, but I haven't met any yet. And maybe it is what you're saying, that it kind of weeds itself out. The culture of it and the way they stick to what they say they're going to stick to. You trust the process, you trust the groups, that builds trust with each other. So
the barrier of entry is greater than some of these other groups, and the commitment is much more. So I feel like it does weed out the weak players.
I don't think you'll find a more authentic group of people.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's really cool.
I agree with that.
It's so cool. Like, yeah. And then we get to learn together. Like this morning, we were at the financial mastermind meeting. Who knew that there would be 20 people at least that show up at 7:00 on a Tuesday morning to talk about stuff that none of us in there know anything.
That's the beauty of it. You bring that up, and it's like from someone who says, "Oh, I've been investing my whole life," or "I just put $5,000 into it." Then we have another guy brand new in the group that says, "Hey, I got $50," and we're all there in the same boat, and we're all relating to each other. We're all able to help each other across the board. And it doesn't matter if it's your first financial meeting you've been to, if you've never looked at that plan before, everyone's there so everybody wants to win. Everybody wants everyone else to win in every area of blue collar.
It's a great point, because as we're going around the table there, it was funny. Most of us don't know what's going on, but we're encouraging each other nonetheless. Like, hey, no, I don't know that one either.
And it's all okay.
And it's all okay.
It makes it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I'd like to talk to, so how is blue collar? So I'm kind of curious. Culture is a big thing for Denny's Auto. If you go back and look at your reviews and everything that you guys have, customer service, the way you treat people, that is really one of the if not the biggest thing that I've seen in your reviews and whatnot. But I'm kind of curious. You've got an old school started in '68, and now we've got new school handling the culture. What was kind of taken from the past? I would imagine hard work. We're going to do what we're going to say, but I'm really curious, like, how has it actually shifted? And maybe if you can even weave this in there, how has blue collar helped with the culture as well?
I think it has, we still have the old school values. You work hard, play hard, all that stuff. Do what you say what you're going to do, and get it done on time. And if you don't get it done, you get to pick up the mess, right? I think it's shifted, to be a little bit more fun oriented, a little bit more younger generation, trying to attract the younger people into the shop. Like we do 2 ditch days a year. So we take half the day off of work and we go play kickball or foursquare or whatever we're going to go do.
Nice.
Right.
Didn't know about the foursquare one.
Yeah. That's
something to look forward to.
That's the next one. And then we do like a shop camping trip once a year. So, I think without leisure time, it's impossible to build a culture that's going to stand for a long time. So I think that's changed it, and blue collar has changed it because they simplify the problems that I'm having within the culture or whatever. If I'm having a hard time retaining employees, talk to somebody about it and be like, okay, I need to try this different. My onboarding sucks. I'm not setting up guys for success right off the bat. So how can I revamp my onboarding? And I can learn from somebody else in the group on how they onboard people. And I think that's been the biggest change that we've implemented culture-wise, is just strictly onboarding and making sure they're ingrained in the culture right off the bat.
I like that. That's good. That's good advice. The onboarding is, once we're hiring employees, call Mitch.
Well, I don't know if I'd call me yet. I'm still figuring it out, man. So
Onboarding is a big deal.
Every time we onboard someone, I'm like, man, I really screwed that one up. Okay, we got to go change the process now, change the SOP. How are we going to do it differently for the next guy that comes on?
Yeah.
So it's very much a living document that we are constantly editing.
A little bit better every time.
Yes, sir.
Well, and it's one of those things that too, like, I don't know that you're ever actually going to get that.
Yeah.
But when you get close, like, you hand it to somebody and you can just see lights are on.
Yeah.
We're getting it. We're finally figuring it out. How do you actually convey that? I don't think you can figure it out without trial and error.
Yeah.
Is this a video thing that needs to be done, or is this a written thing? How do you chunk this in? It's just a constant, it's like trying to get little kids to play a sport. You just keep, I've said the same thing 35 times, right? It's this, there's 4 different ways to do this, and this is what you need to do. But you just keep trying language until you actually figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you said, it's a constant living document.
That's part of the fun, though. It's part of the challenge. It's part of you never arrive. And I think that's a great thing. I think it's cool that we never arrive. We're always striving for more.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing about life.
Well, and what's cool for you guys is obviously if you've been in business since 68, like
63.
63,
Just
sorry.
saying, don't shave off the 5
So
years.
sorry.
Out of those 5 years before I was born. Now, those 5 years are super important. So.
Well, but what I'm saying is you guys are established. You're actually playing with the fun nuances of the business. You know, being here for that long, everybody knows who Denny's Auto is.
You'd think.
Well, we're fixing
that's
that.
also a work in progress, and that's good too. So,
but anybody
opportunity.
that drives up and down Redwood Road has seen that building. It has been there forever, long time. So that's really cool. It's cool to hear from like your guys' experience. Yeah, we're trying to push product and we're in the incubation phase. You guys are like, no, let's refine. Let's do that. So as we're going through this, it is kind of cool. Like Jared said, as we're looking at this, our eyes are on you. You guys are dealing with stuff that we're like, okay, when it comes time to hire, we need to have this stuff ironed out because we're right in the mastermind with you and learning for these lessons as we're going. And you don't get that unless you find a way to into a room, put everybody's head together and start solving problems.
And have the relationships where you can trust each other to be vulnerable to each other and be open and have the mentality of collaboration. All of those things that Blue Collar brings is part of all of who we are as individuals, or we wouldn't be blending the way we do if we didn't have that in us anyway. And this is just a way we get to bring it out. And there's things I've learned in masterminds that I didn't even know the question to ask. But another company or another person will say, I've got this issue. And I'm like, oh man, I'm taking 2 pages of notes off someone else's question. I didn't know I needed to know.
Right.
I didn't know what I didn't know. And that's a great thing to have somebody in the room that trusts the group enough to bring something up, whether it's financial or personal or whatever it is, business or not business, it doesn't matter. But to have that environment where you feel safe to bring it up, and then you're trusting the input that you're getting too. It's a very unique thing. It's what a lot of groups say they do, and they just can't deliver because they get for lots of reasons. But this group does.
Yeah, that's neat.
Neato. You forgot that.
It is.
It is.
I do. Just the group is like every time I show up to something, I learn something else about an individual, and I'm like, more of a connection. Every single interaction.
Even the small ones.
Even the little ones. Even, you get a phone call and someone's checking in on you. I'm like, man, I needed that today. It's just cool. It's a great environment to learn in.
No, this has been one of the best things that I think we've ever done, bar none. And, people coming in and you guys are a cult and this, that, and the other. Maybe.
If this is what a cult is, then I guess we are.
Yeah. But we all actually
I did drink the Kool-Aid on that first meeting.
I did too. I didn't prick my finger and draw blood, but I did drink the Kool-Aid. So I'm not sure what level of cult we are, but whatever it is, it's a good thing.
Well, tell us about this. So what is it as Denny's Auto, what is it that makes you guys truly different? We talked on your reviews and whatnot. Customer service really is kind of what really stands out to me, but tell us kind of the mantras and what makes Denny's Auto different.
I think it's just our core values, honesty, family, and integrity. The family one is obviously the biggest one that we put emphasis on all 3, right? But the family one is most mission critical to me. Like it doesn't matter if you're a vendor, if you're someone blowing in from out of town, whatever, you're going to get treated exactly the same. And I think because of that attitude, we have excellent vendor relations. We have customers. We got mailed a letter probably 5-10 years ago from this lady that was coming in from out of town. She was experiencing brake fade going down Parlous Canyon. Scared the daylights out of her. She brings it in. We couldn't find anything wrong with it. So we're like, when you're going down Parley's or a steep canyon, she's from Nebraska, right? They don't have hills in Nebraska, but use your transmission to go down the hill, tap on your brakes, don't ride them all the way down. And we didn't charge her anything. And she sent us a 3-page letter thanking us for that. And so if we had a shop in Nebraska, that'd be pretty rad, man, but we don't. But it's that kind of the community focus and the support that we put on the community, I think makes us different. Whatever we can do to support the community, we're going to do it. And even if it's just a wine and wrenches deal, whatever it could be. But I think that sets us apart. And then of course you have like the boring stuff, like the warranties and stuff like that. That's all boring. But
that's the stuff that everybody says.
Yeah.
Everybody says, oh, we're nice. We're honest. We're all, they say all the same things. We have the best warranty. We in fact do have the best warranty, but everyone says these things. But the difference is, like Mitch is saying, backing it up and actually getting when we came up with the family honesty or honesty, family integrity on our logo, when we redesigned this logo several years ago, we got those 3 words by polling our customers. We actually asked them, what if you could describe your Denny's Auto experience in 1 word, what would it be? Because we wanted to create a logo. We wanted to create a feel. So that we didn't come up with those. Our customers actually, those were the top 3 things that our customers gave to us. I'm pretty proud of that because
that's really cool.
That's what it's real. It's not us saying, hey, we're great. You can trust us. Every auto shop out there, every business says, you can trust us. We're not like those shady guys. Everyone says that. Well, what's the difference between saying that and doing it and being it? And then how do you convey that? The challenge is, how do you convey that and say, we really are transparent. We're going to show you videos and pictures of what our techs see. We're going to we're going to empower you with the information and what you need to know to make a decision. So you see the big picture and you can make a decision. We help walk you through all of that, but we actually do it. And our customers give us, returned information of saying, yes, this is our experience. This is what we like. And so it's hard to say it because everyone says the same thing, but then the doing and what you hear back is what really knows you're kind of getting close to hitting where you want to hit.
What's interesting about that, and I'll let you kind of pick up on this too, but we've all had to hire a mechanic. Okay.
Like it or not.
Yeah. It's a necessity at some point. And really and truly, and I don't know how you can't fake this. So this is a real testament to your culture. When you step in, and I think it's from everything, the biggest thing that whether you're consciously, I know we're here for a oil change, whatever it is, right? But can I trust these guys? Or are they going to, like, if you're telling me something, hey, your car needs X, Y, and Z. Well, I don't hear anything. I have to trust you. And most shops that you walk into, that is not the case. I would have no problem sending my significant other to you guys without me, monitoring what they're saying or anything like that. And I would trust you guys to say, hey, this is what needs to happen. And there isn't anything to me that matters more of hiring a mechanic than that. And I really can't. I had one other guy that I found that was the case before I knew you guys. We've switched gears. You guys have something else too that just boggles my mind. Your additives and whatnot. I sat through the presentation. I was like, oh, we're going to go to a presentation at an auto shop. That was the most fascinating event that we've ever done. It was really cool.
We're going to host some more because of what you're saying about your experience with that. We're going to do blue collar specific, a dinner with a demo and a lunch with a demo. So that's coming soon. So for all you people out there, follow us on social media.
It was cool.
We'll let you know. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys liked it.
And then it really it changes perspective. It makes you want to do preventative, which is important.
You're better off.
Yeah.
It's just cheaper.
Well, you guys, I grew up doing preventative maintenance. You put the additives in the oil, you put the additives in the fuel and whatnot. The air cleaning, like top to bottom, right when he said that, I went, oh my God, why not? That makes perfect sense. All a motor is basically a big blower, If it's gunked up, of course it's going to run like crap.
It needs to breathe. And I've never been a chemical guy. My whole career, earlier in my career, I was like mechanic in a can. Put this in your tank and all your problems are solved, or this will pass emissions if you put this in. I'm like, that's a bunch of bullshit. I've never been that guy. But then when you experience the difference and see what you guys saw, and I've seen it in my own vehicle, and it made me a believer in it. But I was skeptical, like most people are. Like, I'm not putting this, it's just chemical. You're just telling me stuff, and I don't know that there's no way you would know if it's even in there. But really. But when I experienced the difference firsthand, that made me a believer. And then you see that the demo is pretty cool, and you get to see it. You can't argue it. It's like it's chemistry. It's right in front of you.
Yeah.
And there's fire involved.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
That's always
Anytime
fun.
you get a big boom and fire and whatnot,
Yeah.
it's going to be great.
Yeah.
No, but you also have stats to back it up.
Mhm.
And the biggest one that stood out to me was gas mileage.
Mhm.
Once you do this, you gave one example. What was that again? Like
It's the one that Nate did. I think it was his dad's truck that had like 200. No, what was it? No, I don't remember. I know which one you're referring to, but I can't remember the specifics because he took a picture of the dash with the mileage on it, and he had actually the information pictures on it, and the fuel economy increase from doing just one service.
but it wasn't just a little bit. It was like 12 to 25.
Yes, it almost doubled it.
Yeah.
It was something like I wouldn't necessarily believe it if I didn't see it and if I didn't trust the guy that was showing me. I would have been like, yeah. But he had all of it right there in front of you.
And
I've seen it.
And the catalytic converter starting to function properly after also was like, oh, okay.
It's like having that chest congestion and that head congestion. You clear all that gunk out. It's the same thing. You can take a deep breath. Same thing as cleaning the catalytic converter.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly. I don't want to get too gross, but it's like flushing out your whole system.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought when we were doing it. Like
your engine's like, oh.
And it can actually breathe again.
Yes.
That's incredible. So with the preventative maintenance then, you guys also do a kind of another program, which I think is really cool. So if these guys, is this for fleets only, or is this more everybody can do this, where you guys kind of not dictate, that's the wrong word, but you guys kind of map out what the maintenance schedule is going to be. And you actually go on offense with helping people of what needs to be done. I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, we do it. We're with everybody. If anyone comes in, we're kind of getting them on a plan to get them caught up on their preventative maintenance because, believe it or not, most people don't do their preventative maintenance.
Or their maintenance.
In general. Yes, sir.
They wait for it to break. So it's so much easier that way.
Yeah, totally. Right? You know what it is.
And cheaper. Yeah, right? Yeah, I don't think so.
But we look at what the factory is recommending, and then we have our own experience that we've kind of combined and made our own preventive maintenance schedule. And we kind of compare and contrast with our customers, being like, this is what the factory is recommending. This is what we're recommending. This is where your vehicle's at right now. This would be the next one that we should tackle, right? Especially if it's like a CVT transmission or something like that. Those are neglected. You need to replace your CVT transmission. It's horrible.
It's not fun.
No, they're expensive too. But yeah, we do it for fleets too. With fleets, a lot of the fleet managers are a little bit more specific. Like maybe the fleet manager doesn't really believe in doing a coolant flush every 60,000 miles. Great. It's your fleet. I'm just here to advise you and help you and make sure your vehicles are going to stay on the road. That's my professional opinion. You don't like it, we can alter this any way you see fit. If it's going to serve your fleet better, fantastic. But we have a lot of our retail customers really like the game planning and the headspace that we can put each other in to make sure we're going to create a good plan for their budget and their vehicle. It's fun. I like that. I like doing that part.
Well, it actually gets done that way, and they can fit it into their schedule and their budget schedule, like Mitch was saying. So I don't have all this money now to get caught up, but we can do it over a year. Like every 4 months, every 5 months, we'll do another little piece. Here's the next priority, and so on. If they want to get on that, or if they just want to continue waiting for it to break, they can do that too. It's their prerogative. It's their vehicle. They can make their own decisions. We just give them our opinion and show them the information. They do with it what they want. And we'll be there for them either way.
So if they really believe in it, like we'll give them like a sneak peek to our marketing calendar, right? Like, hey, in July, we're going to do frequent driver miles. You're going to save a bunch of money on preventative maintenance. If you want to do a couple of these in July, you can save you like 10% off your total investment in that month. So let's do that instead of doing it all right now. If money's tight, why not?
Make it doable.
Yeah.
It really is to try to get ahead of it. This is like the same thing as it costs just as much to keep the top half full as the bottom half. But it's a huge problem for 90% of people. You're driving along, doing the very best that you can, and a random auto repair, and it can ruin you for months. And it actually is much easier to try to stay on top of it, make sure everything is ship shape and that they're running for you. Or if you're in the trades, if your vehicle goes down, you're out money for as long as that vehicle is down. And I know our group understands that, but I don't think that there are a lot of business owners that do. Like,
the revenue stream stops. If your vehicle's not out there earning money for you, you have zero coming in.
It's kind of cool to have a Spencer Taylor in the group because he's the one that gave you no, I did exactly $3,700 and 50 cents a day, whatever it was.
This is what I have to make a day. This is my goal. So if his work van's down, he's short that much every day.
And you guys do a great job of understanding that, which is really what I'm trying to paint a picture of is the trust at Denny's Auto is spectacular. And finding a good mechanic is actually really freaking hard. The fact that you guys are two of the coolest dudes that happen to be in there, and we get to see each other, Darrin, all the time. That just makes it so much better. And I would like everybody out there listening to this, if you are in the Salt Lake area or Lehigh, or it's worth the trip to actually find the mechanics you can actually trust.
I appreciate you saying that. Our ultimate goal is to never have a customer need a tow. So the way you avoid a tow, do your preventive maintenance. Get it checked out, get eyeballs on it regularly, and the odds of getting a tow are much slimmer. And it's never going to happen on a convenient day. You already know that.
Yeah.
It's going to happen on the worst possible day. So,
every single time.
Every single time. I appreciate you saying that, though.
No, absolutely. I genuinely mean that. Like I told you, that wasn't BS. I grew up with a dad. Like, if I was not playing a baseball game, we were working in the garage, and I was helping. I apparently still can't do it. I can't hold a flashlight, no matter how, or roll up a hose to this day. But that's what we did. And he was a big into the chemicals. That's why it was so fascinating. Is the gentleman that was putting that demo on. He lined up my dad's the lineup, and then he's blowing it out of the water. I was like, oh, no.
I was using that stuff for how many years?
Which has made it so fun. But we weren't mechanics. We did cosmetic stuff. You'd be shocked what I can do with a rattle can on a car. Like, back in the day when you could actually fix cars up and you could get them painted and stuff
cool
like
stuff,
that. Oh yeah. We used to take 4-cylinder Mustangs, Fox bodies. I don't know how many. I didn't own them. My dad owned them. But if I said 20, I'm undershooting it. And the best one, like, we paint them big bad green. We'd paint them but they were always 4 cylinders because you could buy them for, $1,000. Yeah. The one that we painted big bad green, grandma literally owned it. And it was cherry. It was absolutely, it was going to be my first car until somebody wanted it at a gas station more than my dad was willing to let happen. But, no, we fixed it up, put cool tires on it. Still had a 4-cylinder, and it was a 5-speed. Grandma on it. When we get under there, and if you get a car painted, what makes the difference between a great paint job and a crappy Mako paint job usually was the trimming it out. Mm-hmm. So yeah, my dad would have a car painted, and my job, since I could ever remember, was like, hey, now you got to go under there and tape this off, put the line right here, and then shoot that down. When they invented Rhinoliner in a can, I think my dad, died and went to heaven.
Should have bought stock in that.
Yeah,
the plasti dip. The plasti dips.
Plasti dip.
That was popular in high school. Everybody's plasti dip in their bumpers and wheels. They look good for about 2 weeks, and
it starts peeling. Yeah.
I do kind of miss that culture. You don't see kids, and part of it is you have to have some technology now in your hands to fix cars, and I don't think the cash for clunkers things helped anything because it kind of ruined all the old cars that were. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And but it is kind of sad. Girls are now getting their driver's license before the guys are.
Yeah.
I
And there's a lot.
Understand that.
I don't get it.
I don't either. The love affair with cars is fading. So that's why when we hire team members, we have a rock star young guy at our Draper store, and he just loves the culture. He loves his truck. But finding young people that have that love affair with vehicles and engines and everything mechanical is so valuable. It's so fun to be around young guys like that, or gals. I just dated myself. I don't ever say that word. Girls. Wow, that felt weird even coming out of my mouth. Gals.
I miss it, man. It's like I said, that's all we did growing up. We did those, the 450 Mercedes SLs, or Mercedes 450 SLs, I should say, the 70s, the little coupe roadsters. I forget what the catalog was, but basically they had every bit and piece. And so we'd get one of those. This was way back in like the late 90s. We were, I guess, early 2000s, but we were living here, and Denver was going through a pretty bad depression. So we would go over there, buy them for about $2,000. They'd come into the garage, and my dad would go through the catalog, and it was a catalog at that time. and he'd call it in, and then this big old kit would show up. You could get the dash covered, seat covers, everything on this car. That was our job. You go through, and then we'd turn around and sell them for $6,000 to $10,000 because that's what they were actually worth out here. It was that
sounds like fun. Actually,
it was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cars aren't that way anymore. No. There's a lot of cheap, throw them away. You don't touch them. You don't see maybe wheels, but even that I see.
Yeah, it's going away.
Mm-hmm.
The wraps are.
We live in a unique place that the trucks are really popular, diesel trucks, but cars I feel like are not as popular, muscle cars, and then all the new stuff that's coming out is they're trying to make it look retro, but it's like, you missed.
It's kind of hard to get excited about
poor
it.
Job.
Yeah, you missed on that.
So, all right, let's ask the mechanics some good questions here, okay? And I want to go one at a time because I want to see if you guys have different opinions. Who makes the best car? If just from one brand, for reliability, not necessarily performance, who makes the best, most reliable car?
My vote would go to Toyota.
Mine too. Yeah. Reliability is you can't beat them.
What do you think that is? I have a theory on this. I want to see what you guys have.
I don't really know why. I don't see a lot of mechanical failures with them. I think they are engineered to be able to withstand a lack of maintenance. And so I think that adds to their longevity, not like a European car where they can be reliable, but you have to be on top of your maintenance, right? I think Toyota knows what their target market is, and they're engineer their cars to fit that target market of they're probably not going to do a transmission service every 30,000, 50,000 ever,
or ever,
And so I think that adds to, I think they're just engineered to fit that target market.
I think that's definitely part of it. Yeah, I love dogs, but you can treat them like a dog and they're still going to love you. You can abuse them and they're still going to love you. So I think a lot of it is too, Toyota's not necessarily the company that's going to go out there and reinvent the wheel. They're not going to be like the leading edge of things. They kind of let other companies make some mistakes. You look at like EVs, especially. You look at stuff like that, and Toyota's not. Their technology is not behind by any means, but they're also not trying to innovate. They're not trying to innovate necessarily. They see what works, what doesn't work, and they want to give their customers something that they know they can sell them and know it's going to treat them good for a long time, no matter how you or if you take care of it or not.
Yeah, you're right. Like, they make a badass hybrid, and it's been a badass hybrid since the Prius came out.
Since the Prius.
And they have executed that extremely well.
So I only know this because I actually owned a car dealership for a little bit in between baseball and getting into criminal law, I guess.
So a question for you, what haven't you done?
Listen, I've tried a lot of things, dude.
All right, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, this was a total accident. So I have a friend, his name's Rob Gisman, okay? He is currently in Japan right now. But I call him my younger brother because he is older than me, but he's not in any way, shape, or form. And he grew up down the street from me. And when he was growing up, he was kind of a oops child by like 15 years. Oh. And so he was basically kind of let to run around. Anyway, growing up, he would come to my house to get disciplined by my dad. That was like a thing. When he went off to, when he got done with high school, his mom got up and was like, well, I want to thank the Sheelers. They were better parents to him. Really appreciate the discipline. He always came back, whipped up, ready to go. But he couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. And kind of on not really a lot of other things, but if you put him under the hood of a car, he was a wizard. He was actually the first person that wasn't Cobb to do an STI motor swap into I forget what the proper name is, but it was a 93 Impreza. So he took like an 04, 05, and he did it by himself in high school in his garage. There was a big old write-up in the newspaper about it. Again, if you saw him dress, he would wear like unicorn t-shirts that were way too small in his pants, like girls' pants and stuff. Just the goofiest character. But yeah, he could also explain thermodynamics to you and how a turbo works. Like it was nuts.
Is he looking for a job?
He's in Japan. He's racing motorcycles right now.
Okay. We love hiring people like that. We like the fringe people. They're awesome.
You wouldn't want him as an
I wouldn't want him. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Rob, I want you to listen. I love you like the brother you are. You are not an employee to anybody. That was my frustration with him at the dealership is like.
That can be a compliment too.
Well, if he shows up, money was flowing because he really did know what he was doing. But anyway, he had a huge love affair with Japanese cars. And so he's the one that started the dealership. And then he brought me in because paperwork is a thing at a car dealership, and he couldn't do it at all. Yeah, it wasn't going to happen. But we imported, like, there for a while, all the up to about 95, any of the right-hand drive cars that you see over here. That there's a good chance I did the paperwork on it.
Cool.
Yeah. So the car stuff, I'm not a mechanic. I don't know that stuff, but I learned enough going on. What I learned about Toyota, though, and specifically the 1 and 2 JZs, now this carried over to all the rest of them. In the 90s, the motors were actually made by Yamaha. And Yamaha's philosophy was overbuilding the internals. So if you take a 1 or 2 JZ, you put a bigger turbo on that thing, the internals will hold almost double, if not triple, the power to it. And then Toyota, when Yamaha stopped, it was like the 05, 08 years where Toyota had a safety recall, or, like it was like shocking that something came out.
Right.
And then Toyota went back, and now all the internals and everything are all way overbuilt for what the motor's doing. I just thought that was really cool. Yamaha's the one who made the 1 and 2 JZ engines.
That's cool. I had no idea.
I didn't know that either.
That's really cool.
Always learning something new.
Well, if you go to bikes, like motorcycles, they may not be the prettiest, but Yamaha does make the one that's going to run regardless of what you do to it. It can sit out back in all winter long. You go out there, kick it over, and it starts every time.
They're the Toyota of motorcycles.
Literally.
Like literally.
Like literally.
Literally.
Yeah. So
I think a lot of it is like the theory, if it's not broke, you don't fix it. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. So it's like, this works. Let's keep on doing it.
Keep rolling.
It's weird. It's a weird concept for people to grasp because everybody's searching for the next big thing every day. But it's not broke. You don't fix it.
What do consumers want? Consumers want that reliability.
Yeah.
Now Toyota has a reputation.
Yeah.
So now, it worked.
they also did a couple of things, them and Honda, which is kind of interesting. I think this was in the 70s, but they did two things. Both of them did this. But they cast the motors instead of doing it in sand like everybody else. They actually cast them in styrofoam. So a Honda and Toyota engine actually is getting harder and stronger up to about 100,000 miles because of the way that they are actually cast. The other thing, to your point of not breaking the wheel on this, the blocks stay in Toyotas and Hondas significantly longer than everybody else. Honda used the K-Series block was used for like 30 years, and they just kept perfecting everything around it. Whereas, us Americans, we need a new flipping V8 every 6 months. Yep. So what's your guys' favorite cars?
Oh,
and why?
Dream car or car to work on?
Both.
I like working on Toyotas too. Yeah, Toyotas and Hondas. I know my way around those fairly well. I hate working on Nissan V6s. They always bite me. I don't know why, but I always leave more blood than I do anything else on those vehicles. But a dream car would be a 1949 Mercury Coupe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good car right there. Would you lower it and chop it?
Of course, man.
It.
Yeah,
Of course.
ZZ top it.
Oh, man. That's cool. All right. Darren, what's yours?
I haven't wrenched in a long time, but I was good at, Toyotas and Hondas. I was good at. I could do those pretty much blindfolded. Didn't like Cadillacs. Working on Cadillacs, Denny was a big Cadillac guy. He loved them. And it's cool, I guess, but working on them, I don't know if you guys ever worked on one. I don't recommend it. Extremely I've thrown one tool in my entire career. I'm not a tool thrower. I was working late one night on my mother-in-law's Eldorado. Beautiful car. Trying to do a water pump on it after hours, trying to help out my in-laws. And I actually threw a wrench and dented my brand new toolbox. It's the only time in my whole life I've ever thrown a tool. And I was by myself. And it's embarrassing. I shouldn't have to share the story, but it was on a Cadillac. So I don't ever want a Cadillac. They're nice. I like driving them, I guess, but I don't want to own one because I have an issue with them. So dream car, I don't know, it varies, but it always seems to come back to like a 68 Corvette.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like the old Corvettes.
Absolutely.
They're uncomfortable, but they're beautiful. So.
And there's something to be said about those old engines. I don't care the smell of a little gasoline and the
smell
sound.
and the sound.
Oh,
yeah.
I got a big block I have a 74 square body that was my grandpa's.
Oh, nice.
And it's got a big block in it, the 454. And the sound of that, I could just listen to it all day. I just love it.
Isn't that weird? Like
And the smell.
the
It does-
smell.
Smell is
Yeah, a carbureted engine smells different.
I love that smell.
I do too.
It's
It's like carb clean. Like carb cleaner smells incredibly good.
The young guys at the
Darren, you're
shop
not
will-
supposed to smell that
I
one.
know. I keep a can on my desk. So
Look at the SBS sheets on carb clean. See
Yeah.
if that's okay. Yeah.
yeah.
But the young guys at the shop, when we have an older car in, they'll complain about the smell of the exhaust. And the older guys are like, it smells so good. Like, what are you talking about? Put that in the candle, man. I'll buy it.
Let's make a candle.
I would buy that candle. I would absolutely buy that candle.
We got a new business idea right here.
Yeah.
We're going to candle making business.
Carburetors, carbureted engine
Carbureted
smell.
candles.
That's awesome. That is kind of interesting too. The love for old cars is also dying. And I didn't see that one coming.
I didn't either because they're so unique and the sound and the feel and all those things, they're very tangible, and to not, and the style of them. You used to be able to look at a car and you knew what the make and model was. Now they all kind of look the same. They're all conforming, and I like nonconformists. So I like, something unique. And
Isn't it weird?
the older cars had
older
uniqueness.
cars. You could see a picture of just the bumper or just the mirror.
Yeah.
I know what that car is.
Yeah.
And you can't do that.
Oh, you could even take that one step further. You used to be able to hear a car start.
Oh yeah.
And tell what it was.
Yeah.
Which is now you can't even hear them.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. They've ruined it.
There's so many little things like that. I wonder if car culture will ever make a comeback.
I hope so.
I think it will.
Well, it sucks
I think
because
it'll-
it is like the opportunity for riding in an old car is less and less. So I think if they could just experience, it's an experience.
Mhm.
You ride an old car.
Mhm.
I had a 73 Nova and I would take to the gym all the time, and it's just fun. It's just cool. You do a little burnout, Chicks are back in my single days and chicks were into it. It was fun.
I had my muscle car. I had a 68 Plymouth Barracuda.
Oh, cool.
Right on.
Same thing. We found this in Colorado. Some gal wanted it more than I did, but this thing was so cherry that you remember in the hubcaps, they used to be hand painted in there.
Mhm.
And that was like the first thing that would fade. The paint in the hubcaps was perfect. This was truly grandma's car, but this was in the heart of baseball. And if you remember, it's the one that had the big, huge, long back window,
Mhm.
and that back seat would fold down into a bed. And I basically was not allowed anywhere around that car. But no, this is cool. Well, guys, it's been one heck of a show. You guys are some of my favorite people in the whole Blue Collar Connect. We love what you're doing. You got anything else that you want to share to everybody out there?
I just want to shout out you guys. Thanks for having us on this. And yeah, it's like I met both you guys, and it's like I felt like an instant connection, unless it's just on my end. But
No,
it
yeah.
did. It
100%.
we just seemed to click. And
You
you
were the first person that I talked to at the lunch.
Oh, really? Well, I
Yeah,
don't know if I should apologize for that.
Walked right up.
Well, we're still here.
You're still here, so I could have
Here's
been
the
that bad.
guy.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
yeah, it was
appreciate
good.
that, but it's
good.
been, I appreciate you guys and what you bring to the table. It's more than you realize, both of you. It's way more than you realize. I'm sure of that. So we're always our own worst critics, right? So
Yeah.
you bring a lot to the table, and you're important to a lot of people in the group. Not just me. I'm speaking for me, but I can safely speak for everybody. So I appreciate both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Darren.
We really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. And thank you so much for coming on. You guys were awesome. All right, everybody, you know the drill. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one.